Greetings RC friends, welcome to Props and Wheels. I hope you can hear me over the din of the dogs fighting over there, as well as the serious lawn mowing happening on the other side. Anyway, we are at the second episode of the review of this W01-J3 from Flying Xiang. And actually this is not the maiden flight. Maiden flight happened over 4 months ago back in May, and it is September already. The reason I couldn't post that video is because I forgot to turn on my head cam at that time. So the limited footage I had was not enough to create a good video. But here are some of those clips. Greetings RC friends, welcome to Props and Wheels and to the maiden flight episode of this Xiang W01-J3 Cub. There is a slight breeze coming from my back, but it's not too bad. I think this is the perfect time. So this 3-channel, it has stabilization. You can probably hear it. It feels really nose heavy, and I hope it's not going to be a problem. It's not going to go down during the takeoff, but we will see. All right, nobody behind me, so I'm going to take off and wish me luck. Yep. It feels very... So it definitely needs quite a bit of trimming. It is kind of sensitive, and I'm giving, as you can see from my hands probably, I hope this camera is kind of showing right. And I'm just going to kind of attempt to land it now. Glide's nice, but I was giving up elevator the whole time, almost like fully. So the battery is kind of wedged in there in the front. I mean, we don't want it to be tail heavy, but you know, I don't want to try to adjust it with the trim. And by the way, it is livelier than I expected. Oh, look what happened. So the battery got all the way to the front. We absolutely changed the setting. Probably maybe I should put the battery like this, like I did in the video, the assembly video, and just try to jam in there like this, so that the center of gravity is more towards back a little bit. So let's see. Yeah, it's still. So let's check like virtual center of gravity a little bit. Still feels a little nose heavy, but it is definitely not as bad as before because now the battery is here. So let's try again. It still goes, so it's going to need quite a bit trimming. Yeah, so I'm going to give quite a bit up elevator trim. I may have to fix it physically because, as you may have seen, it just keeps diving in quite strongly. If this may be too much, let's decrease it a little bit and let's try again. Still just going kind of nose down. Okay, I reached the maximum, and when I let go, yeah, I think this took care of it. It's a little better, but it is not very inherently stable airplane. I mean, I'm just adjusting. I'm constantly adjusting for the rudder. It is very touchy. Still dives a little bit at the beginning. It could have been better. This is not a very nice flyer. I'm full right, it didn't turn. Maybe it lost too much speed, I'm not sure. And it is tending to turn left. Yeah, there's no easy way of landing this thing. Yeah, I expected more from this. You know, do I like it from the first flight? No, I don't. Out of the box, I was hoping that it will fly better. I cannot give final verdict at this point, but you know, expect another video on this. once I figure out what's wrong with it. The stability control should keep it dead straight, and it's not doing it. It is going leaning and then just over rotating and suddenly doing these strange up or down movements. If you're a beginner, no, definitely not a beginner airplane. Well, as you can tell, I was not very impressed with this little guy, although I had very high hopes. And the reason was threefold. The first one, this was really nose heavy. I tried to pull the battery as back as possible and trim it such that it will go up, but it was still going down during takeoff. So I may have to do something to the CG. Today I'm not going to work on that. I'm just going to do the review flight that I wasn't able to post before. So this is going to be really the second flight, because in the last 4 months I didn't really want to fly it. I didn't like it. The second issue was the stability control. I don't know if this is a lemon, because I have seen videos this flying really nice and stable. But while I was flying, it kept just going right and left and right and left, and I was like counter steering, and it was either going to the left or to the right. So there was something wrong, and it was just jumping from right to left. And the third problem was it was always tending to turn to the right or left. I forgot which was. But anyway, let's give it another chance, and hopefully this will be a better flight. My app shows that the wind is blowing from my right hand side from this way at 7 miles per hour, and it's a cold wind. It's already end of September. So let's give it a try, and hopefully it will be a good one. And hopefully my head cam is now recording. All right, let's do this. I'm going to try to keep it close because it's quite crowded here. And I'm going to, oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It doesn't feel like it has stability control. And it is kind of difficult control. I mean, it's either going left and I turn right, you can see my fingers probably. I'm trying to keep the controller in the view of my chest camera. And I don't know if you can see it, but I'm just going to walk away from the dog walkers over here. And it is not very stable. I mean, it's just going right and left. I'm not doing that. I mean, yes, there is some wind, but I have flown plenty of such airplanes, especially from Xiang and Volantex RC mini warbird series, as well as 3 and 4 channel trainers, and they have been so much better than this. I let it go, and do you see it's either right or left. It cannot decide which way to go. And maybe I should do another flight when it's dead calm, and after I adjust the CG. Okay, I'm going to up there because the dogs are making me a little nervous. And I hope you can still hear me. It's quite loud this morning here. Yes, it is a little windier here, actually, on top of this little hill. It is not as bad as last time. I don't know what that was. So I wasn't doing it. So my little mini Trainstar Volantex RC is a much better flyer than this. So you see, it is not very well stabilized. And from time to time it goes into those spirals almost. I don't know if that was a tip stall. Yeah, it might be partially my fault, but I would have expected. Oh, okay, more noise. I would have expected a trainer, a 3-channel, to be a little more stable, and it is not. I mean, I am just working at the controls. I wish there was an option to change the stability control and just disable it and see how it flies then. I don't know how much of this is inherent stability of the plane itself and how much of it is stability control trying to take over. Okay, let me, so this is higher rates, 2 beeps, I put it to high rates. Does it change anything? Not really. Anyway, I'm going to land it. It is not as bad as my first maiden flight, but it is not good either. Do you see, it's like, it's difficult to keep it like flying straight on level, and okay. And it was getting kind of out of control coming to me. So that's it. This is the flight review, not maiden flight, but the second flight. And I still don't really like it too much. So I had higher hopes with this little guy, and it is not I mean, it looks really nice, but it's not living up to my expectations, especially after being pampered by the Volantex RC planes like Sport Guy 500, hey buddy, and Mini Trainstar. This is not very impressive. Even WLtoys Cessna 182, it's called F949, that I reviewed last year, a year and a half ago. That was one of my first very small 3-channel Chinese airplanes. That didn't have stability control, and I enjoyed that much more. So again, I need to do one more flight, maybe adjust the CG, center of gravity, a little bit by putting some small weight on the back, and just because this is still, I think, a little nose heavy. And I mean, the stability control is working, but it wasn't stable in the air, as you had seen, it's going either left or right, never flying straight and level. And I would have expected that, especially after flying the Mini Warbird series from Xiang and Volantex RC, as well as the other Mini Trainstar, Sport Guy 500. Those are fantastic beginner airplanes, 3-channel, 4-channel, and this doesn't really live up to them. I mean, is it bad? It depends, how experienced you are, what you want to do with this. But definitely it wasn't fun flying in this light wind. So at this point, I still cannot really recommend it. But again, the final verdict is not there. I would like to work on it a little bit more and maybe fly it again when the wind is totally calm. And then, if it is good, maybe we can just say yes, fly it at a wind that's less than 5 miles per hour. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned for upcoming videos, and hope to see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.